Coming up, a truly amusing frontman from an iconic 80s new wave band tells us the story behind their biggest hit, all-time 80s classic that he has said is an indictment of dishonest politicians. Sound familiar? The story and interview is coming up next on Professor of Rock, brought to you by Zenni Eyewear. Hey music junkies, Professor of Rock, always here to celebrate the greatest artists and the greatest songs of all time. All newcomers, subscribe below for more content exactly like this feature, where we don't just react and comment on the songs, we get it straight from those who are actually there. Today, we go behind an 80s classic from one of the preeminent bands of new wave, One Thing Leads to Another by the Fixx. Their biggest hit in America, it went to number 4 in 1983. It was actually held off the top spot by the duet between Kenny Rogers and Dolly Parton, Islands in the Stream. Bee Gees wrote it. Islands in the stream, that is what we are. Went all the way to the top in Canada, and it was number 2 on the US rock charts. It was the follow-up single to their hit Saved by Zero, both coming from the classic, fantastic album, Reach the Beach. Now, I had the opportunity to sit down with lead singer and songwriter, great guy, Cy Curnin, and discuss a song that seems to be written for the time that we live in right now. Before we hear from Cy, we want to thank our sponsor, Zenni Eyewear, my new yet permanent brand. I love the quality, and I can customize every pair to fit my style. You can do the same thing. Click on the link below to do exactly that. You'll love them. Here's Cy with the story of One Thing Leads to Another. Well, One Thing Leads to Another. Everybody knows that song. You know, and it was, of course, number 4 pop. What instigated that song? I have my interpretation, what I thought it meant because of the politicians. But tell me your feelings.
That's kind of where I was. There was a politician of note at the time in England who was suffering a scandal because he'd forgotten what he'd said. And the notion came to me that if you lie, you better be a damn good liar and have a good memory because you're going to run into your own lies down the road. And he did. And so the idea of this song
Which is, why don't they do what they say what they mean?
You put it out there, people are going to remember. 4-year, 5-year mandate, you stand up and take, I'll do this, I'll do that. No, you won't. You're just going to line your pockets. Pretty much. I mean, there are some good men out there, but they seem to be shut out of the door. There's the guy that, the James Stewart movie, Mr.
Smith Goes to Washington.
Mr. Smith Goes to Washington.
A man who controls a political machine and controls everything else worth controlling in my state. Yes, and a man even powerful enough to control congressmen. And I saw 3 of them in his room the day I went up to see him. Will the senator yield? No, sir, I will not yield.
There's a lot of Mr. Smiths still out there, but they just seem to get
drowned
held
out
up
by
at the toll booths.
The career politicians who are there for the wrong
these
reasons.
guys. A whole different bunch of people out there now.
Well, a key lyric to me in that song that I love is the long face that you see comes from living close to your fears.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. These guys use fear.
Yeah, exactly. It's constantly, we're all like, and they just put it this close to you that we're all paranoid and claustrophobic.
It seems like that's how they can make you do what they want. The media does it too. Fear.
Yeah.
And the opposite of fear is faith or joy or happiness, and those things.
Yeah.
And if you're feeling fear, you can't feel those things.
Exactly. It's a very cunning ploy. And it comes through the media, the news. There's nothing you can do about this. Just take it. And before you know it, you're just a cynical human being.
It kind of goes back to even the nuclear war. You could share a message that was that deep and the lyrical content. And that's what's so great about it, is that you can put it in a pop song that even my kids sing.
Just the slogan. I think just the slogan's enough. Not everybody listens deeply to lyrics. And I know that being a lyricist, and I've heard it a lot of times. Drummers and bass players, I don't listen to the lyrics at first. I listen to cool. If you've got something that's very close to a well-known phrase and put it in there, you need a hook. You want to catch fish, you got to have something tasty on the hook.
Yeah.
So I was very aware of that, and I like the rhythm. That One Thing Leads to Another was just what popped out to the rhythm of that.
And you hear that guitar come in. That's one of those songs, though, from the 80s that the second you hear it, first second, you know what the song is. Ding, ding, that guitar. And then also the backing vocals again, the harmonies. You guys are great, especially when you're singing the chorus, and then you find yourself singing the lyrics or having that song in your head. And because of the lyrics, you start thinking, what does this song mean?
Yeah.
That's why melody is so important just as much as the lyrics are.
Yeah.
Because that might lead you to...
Yeah, you'd go back and the song's been around long enough that, you know, who starts a song with the word, the deception with tact? It's like,
no
what
kidding.
is that? It's like a weird thing to put in the first line of a song. If you trust in it and people have heard it enough, they start to go scratch around, you know.
Well, and that's a song also that's been used so much in pop culture. Grand Theft Auto, video games, and that's how a lot of the young kids are discovering these songs. You've probably heard the covers, but you know, there's a jazz musician, Joseph Patrick Moore, that covered it. Back in 2004, pretty cool arrangement.
Right on the surface, skimming along, slick like that.
Color Theory in 2005. Power Man 5000 recorded a remake of it. 2011.
Well, I love that. I love it.
Isn't that cool? Somebody else does your song.
Yeah, it's really good.
And then it's been used in everything from Veronica Mars, a TV show that's been popular here. Everybody Hates Chris. I mean, one thing leads to another, the music video. For my generation, I mean, growing up on those videos, that was like listening to the radio. And you got the imagery with it. Sometimes it was good, sometimes it was bad. Because it could inform you of what you thought of the song before you would listen to the song. But it is fun to see it now because it takes you back to that moment.
I think what was important then was that there was a creative freedom around the early videos, the 80s, where, okay, you didn't have to be a great actor, but you could make a statement that gave some extra meaning to the song. But then MTV became more about advertising and marketing, and so the girls making videos were able to wear more fashion. And then the advertisers could sell the fashion. And then it became much more
even movies started to follow music video, right? Like Flashdance being a 2-hour music video.
Yeah, Desperately Seeking Susan.
Madonna.
When Madonna wore a video, all the clothes would be in Target the next day. Little tartan. You know, maybe if I'd worn a tartan mini skirt in a video, Target wouldn't have been selling it the next day.
You write a song and don't know that 35 years later, it's still like even more than it was back then. What's going on right this second? You're speaking to politics and the world and Russia and all the things that we were fearful of back in the day. And that's why music is that touchstone.
And I see from the airplay, it's almost getting as much airplay now across different media things that it did when it was a hit. So I'm like, okay, well, I mean, I love that. There's decimal points gone the wrong way, but the royalty rate.
No kidding.
I'm like, at this point in our career, I think it's about getting out playing live. And this is just our adverts. No matter how people hear the music, great. As long as few will find the time to come and see the live shows. Because frankly, that's where the most fun is at. You know, now that the competition's been removed, I mean, you've said all the chart positions and everything else. Now to us, it's just like we're a working band that have a name that people will come and see us, and we're all the same members and we have our lives together, and it's like we're tasting the wine of our fruit. It feels good.
I never got to see the Fixx live when I was a kid and listening to music.
Right.
It's like we get a second chance.
Yeah.
And it probably brings a lot of joy to you to know that your music is still in every corner of the world, there
Absolutely.
are people that are like, I want to go see this.
Yeah, and that is something we have heard a lot. Too young when you were around the first time. And so we're meeting people for the first time. And okay, it's great to preach to the converted, but it's playing for people that haven't seen you before and see where we're at now.
And you look out and you see older and younger people.
It's just a watermark, really, where the water level finds us all now.
Yeah.
Whoever's in the audience and the world we're living in today, is the music is the backdrop or the soundtrack for this
people's
moment.
lives. It's still that song that you hear
Yeah,
30 odd years later.
that's a lucky one. I love that song.
Yeah. Oh, such a good one. Hey, thanks for watching. Leave us a comment about the Fixx. Such an amazing band. The album Reach the Beach. It's a classic. And of course, this awesome song below. Share your memories of it. We love to hear that. Celebrate the Fixx by getting this on Amazon, the record, and the vinyl below through our link. If you like our content, we do invite you to join our community by subscribing to this channel below. Also, you can become an honorary patron to help us keep this music alive. More interviews, more content. Until next time, 3 chords. 3 chords and the truth, my friends. Stay safe.